Okay, guys, we need to talk. Wargaming, please listen. We honestly need to talk. This is getting more and more ridiculous. I see those type of battles more and more every single day. And I know I'm not the only one who doesn't, dig those type of battles. Maybe there are some people who love multiple, like half of the team filled with light tanks and artilleries matchmaking, but it is not me. We have cap for the artillery, which is 3 artists per team, but now I believe, in my humble opinion, it is time to look at light tank matchmaking as well, to set its own special dedicated light tank count, light tank matchmaking into this game, because after you, and by you I mean Wargaming, have been popularizing light tank gameplay a lot lately in the past few years, it is final time to look at it, because the matchmaking for light tanks is kind of obsolete. Now, I said you have been popularizing light tank gameplay lately in the past few years. Yes, a lot actually. So let's go back a couple of years. So we didn't have that many light tanks in the mixture. Why? Because we didn't have tier 9 light tanks. We didn't have tier 10 light tanks. And if you have been playing this game for even longer, let's say 6, 7, 8 years, you remember the good old days or the bad old days where tier 5 light tank, it was very common for tier 5 light tank to be in the same matchmaking with tier 9 tanks. Yes, +4 matchmaking, ladies and gentlemen, for a light tank with the same beast shooter gun. Absolutely no chances to penetrate the top vehicles, top tier vehicles, like 0 chances to penetrate them. Your only job back in the days as a light tank was to spot for the team. The only thing that has changed from that time is that light tanks have the same +-2 matchmaking, not +-25 matchmaking as it used to have. So after Wargaming did add tier 9, tier 10 light tanks, of course more and more people want to grind to tier 9, tier 10 light tanks. They want to play with the high tier light tanks, and they have to start from the bottom. So starting from medium tier, you already see many more light tanks than we used to see, because you have to grind your way up, right? And if you made your way up, people maybe like to play more light tanks, and this is why we have, this is one of the reasons, in my opinion, once again, why we have so many more light tanks in the matchmaking. We didn't have tier 9s, we didn't have tier 10s, now we do, but we still have the same old no light tank cap matchmaking. So that happened more than a couple years ago. They popularized light tanks. But what happened lately, let's say 1 year ago, let's simply say 1-2 years ago? Wheeled vehicles, another thing which boosted the amount of light tanks in the matchmaking quite heavily actually. Wheeled vehicles which start all the way from tier 5 or tier 6, I don't actually even remember where the HQS is, but all the way up to tier 10, and the most legendary one of them all, of course, is EBR 105, arguably the most broken tank in the game, the most broken Tech 3 vehicle in this game, which single-handedly has changed the meta in tier 10. Now, all those things taken into consideration, we have more and more light tanks in the game, but we have this same obsolete matchmaking. Now, let's stop the gameplay over here for a second, and let me show you a couple screenshots. What I took from couple sessions, and I asked from couple people if they have any, quite ridiculous light tank matchmakings. Send in couple screenshots, and I do have couple screenshots. Let's start off slowly. Let's start off with 4 light tank and triple artillery. So artillery is fully capped over here. We have the maximum amount of artillery we can have in one battle, and 4 light tanks. On the enemy side, 2 EBRs, EBR 105s, Manticore and Sheridan. Quite a nice lineup, right? And my team has EBR, Manticore, T100LT, WZ, all over the place, right? Now, imagine being E3 in that matchmaking. Imagine being FE45 in that matchmaking. Or, let's say, if Mouse would be in this matchmaking. Oh boy, Mouse or Type 5 or any other slower tank is going to have such a fantastic time, because EBR is able to spot them in the first 20 seconds. A triple RT, smack, 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 enjoy World of Tanks, get F'd Commander, right? this is just one of the matchmakings. Moving on, this is the standard one, you know, Manticore, triple EBR, 3 EBRs, and 1 artillery, lucky in this case, right? But Prokhorovka, 4 light tanks, Prokhorovka, always fun and cool, right? But luckily, not too many artilleries. Although this guy cannot say the same, 5 light tanks this time on Murovanka and 3 artilleries as well, 3 EBRs right there, AMX, T100LT, actually copy-paste light tank matchmaking, almost copy-paste artillery matchmaking as well, so we have to give props to the matchmaking for adding copy-paste tanks basically, but still 5 light tanks on quite a decent light tank map actually. Epic chaos. It is going to be very chaotic start for the battle. Once again, if slower vehicles end up in this matchmaking, well, this is Alt F4 type of thing for many players, actually. So, moving on, Erlenberg, what do we have? We have 5 light tanks over here, lower tier action, you know, 5 light tanks right over here, plus 1 artillery, nothing too crazy. Moving on, another 5 light tank battle, no artillery this time, and yep, guys, this was my second account, you know, the CC account, and I was playing with Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. I can tell you that right now, I was not having super much fun. Well, you can believe me why, right? Moving on, this is another one of my battles with 5 light tanks, 1 artillery, 1 wheeled vehicle, 2 wheeled, premium wheeled vehicles in the platoon. So basically you see the trend in almost every single battle there is at least 1 wheeled vehicle per team. So far in every single one of them. This is what we just looked at, right? Yes, wheeled vehicles, but getting scarier and scarier. 4 EBRs and Manticore plus 2 artilleries, 3 EBRs against it, and 2 other light tanks. The 100 is already dead. I guess how he died. Well, you can guess how he died, right? Moving on, this battle is, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Prokhorovka with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 tier 10 light tanks and 1 artillery. 3 EBRs per team as well, actually 4 on this side. City map, how about 1 Paris map with, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tier 10 light tanks. For Mouse, for 279E, a lucky day, no artillery and city map. Imagine this same matchmaking on open map. On any other map which is not city, actually. Imagine that. So what is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 7 light tank, no artillery, and I believe you get the point. So let's have a little discussion in the comment section down below. Let's make this episode kind of a feedback episode as well. So if you have some constructive criticism, please leave that in the comment section down below, and I will make sure to forward this video to some wargaming guys. I don't know if it has any kind of effect. Maybe it is just like pissing against the wind and only we are going to be wet, but I like to think that we have at least some kind of effect about this, but unlikely, because, you know, we have talked about the different tests for the artillery matchmaking, different tests for the matchmaking, just to test it out, even on the test server, even maybe only on the sandbox server, just to see how the community reacts to it, how community takes it. But so far, absolutely nothing, but we can still keep trying. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe something is going to change. So, taking all the things into consideration, how would you, let me know, how would you fix it if you think it needs fixing in the first place? I believe there are many players who do not see any problems in it whatsoever, because, you know, let's be real, there are not too many 5+ light tank battles, but it happens, and when it happens, those battles basically are very, very awkward, chaotic, and not enjoyable for any of the players inside, for any of the 30 players inside of that battle. Especially if you are going to lose extremely fast one-sided and wreckage way as well. What is the light tank cap, or what should the light tank cap be? In my perfect world, I would say the perfect light tank cap would be 2 light tanks per battle and 1 wheeled vehicle. There should be one wheeled vehicle, doesn't matter of the tier, and one other light tank, and I would be happy. And we actually, in reality, if you think about that, we do not need more. If you think about the maps we have in this game, we have so many city maps. So many maps where scouting is not number one priority. And to have 4+ or 3+ light tank battles consistently, like constantly, 3 light tanks, 4 light tanks, it's just 1 or 2 light tank too many all the time. People inside the light tanks, playing with light tanks, are not enjoying those battles as well, or at least I don't, because basically you find yourself, you end up finding yourself fighting with your teammate light tank players, because you are splitting the spot, you're not able to get as good of a result as a light tank, you're not able to be as useful as you would like to be as well, so I don't know. I think like the perfect matchmaking for me would be 2 light tanks, 1 wheeled vehicle, but I would be still happy with, let's say, 3 light tanks and 1 wheeled vehicle, because of the platooning. You know, sometimes like 3-man platoon wants to play as a light tank, so it doesn't take that away. Plus, it eliminates another big issue Wargaming always sees with the matchmaking, always their number one answer, basically, queue times. Queue times would be too long, like players do not need to wait, it is frustrating and so on. I don't actually buy that, you know, or maybe it is. If you think it builds frustration, let me know, but honestly, I would be willing to wait up to, let's say, 1 minute more in the queue time if I get good, enjoyable matchmaking, good, enjoyable battle out of it, because it doesn't matter if I'm able to get into the battle right away just like this, and I don't enjoy the battle at all, you know, if the matchmaking is scuffed. I would be willing to wait, let's say, 30 seconds to get into the good battle. To get into the good matchmaking, I know in the next up to 10 minutes I'm going to enjoy my battle, right? I would be willing to do that. So 3 light tanks per team cap should fix the queue time issue as well. Like, this is the number one Wargaming's answer basically all the time. So that's like my idea, and 1 wheeled vehicle once again, simply because wheeled vehicles are a bit too aggressive and effective, too effective maybe, active scouts at the start of the battle. But once again, looking at the coin from the other side, 1 wheeled vehicle leaves a problem to the player skill cap once again. So if only 1 wheeled vehicle is on the battlefield, one team gets the good EBR player, very good EBR player, who single-handedly is able to affect the, is able to curve the outcome of the battle, you know, and another team gets a bad EBR player, suicidal active scout at the start of the battle EBR player, then that also is not super fair if you think about that, because bad EBR player dies at the start of the battle, as it happens way too often, as you know, yourself as well, I believe, and then the other enemy EBR is able to simply carry the battle, you know, like this is another issue. How that would be fixed? More EBRs to the battlefield, but then there are too many, you know, it's very deep and interesting topic to discuss actually, and this is why I decided to make this video today. So ladies and gentlemen, please let me know in the comment section. Let's have a little discussion going on, constructive criticism, let's see how that or let's see where that gets us, and I hope to hear some interesting ideas from you. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for your time over here. Thank you for spending your time over here with me today. And I get you next time after we watch this leopard completely missing the shot and going down through the hand of EBR 105 and physics, ladies and gentlemen. I get you next time with something else. Stay awesome, stay sexy, stay naked, take care, and bye.